Can I get a hall pass, please? Where do you need to go? Home? I can't put home, Michael. What's going on? Some kids found out that I use they, them pronouns and they've been making fun of me all class. Which students? Jace and Max. Okay, I want you to take this hall pass and go out to the courtyard, smell the petunias, do some deep breathing, meditation, take a minute, and then come back and we can address this together. Okay, thanks, Miss Kennan. Of course. Jace, Max, I need you to come over and see me for a momentito, please.
You know what, guys, man, this stuff is scary. It truly is, man. We have got to recognize just how scary this stuff is. Our kids, man, they're not being educated. They're being indoctrinated. They truly are. With this leftist BS ideology, they truly are being indoctrinated. I'm going to stick a few clips showing you what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to stick a clip from Donald Trump talking about his plans and his views of the educational system.
I work at the Children's Hospital Los Angeles with queer and trans youth in large groups. And so I deal with a lot of their trauma related to the heteronormative, Judeo-Christian, patriarchal, imperialist, capitalist system that oppresses them. 95% know that they are trans when they are 3, 4, and 5 years old.
So my class decided to stand but not say the words. Totally fine. Except for the fact that my room does not have a flag. It used to be there. But I took it down during COVID because it made me uncomfortable.
The school district says that's Kristen Pitson, who identifies herself as an 11th grade teacher at Back Bay High School here in Costa Mesa. She starts that TikTok video by saying that during the Pledge of Allegiance, she gives students the option to stand and say the words. She goes on to share that her class does not have an American flag and that she took it down during the pandemic because it made her uncomfortable. In this video, Pitson says a student asked why there was no flag recently. She says she tells the student she would try to find it, but then admits she's lying. Parents in the area say they are shocked by what the teacher says next.
In the meantime, I tell this kid, we do have a flag in the class that you can pledge your allegiance to. And he looks around, he goes, oh, that one?
Again, this video is now under investigation by the Newport Mesa Unified School District. A spokesperson says, I assure you that we take matters like this seriously and are taking action to address it. Showing respect to our nation's flag is a value that we instill in our students and an expectation of our employees.
In your tweet, you describe basically you've described private schools of the North. That was literally your language. But you've also said this, that school choice was the choice of racists. I think at the end of the day, people are asking here about whether the rhetoric matches your actions. What do you say to them? I totally understand the point that you're making, but I do wonder, do you regret your own rhetoric here?
What is critical race theory? Parents at this forum on race and curriculum in the Rockwood School District are not the only ones fired up about it.
I did not use the word racist.
Scholars of critical race theory define it as recognizing race as a social construct, but one that's been deeply embedded in American institutions throughout history. They say you can see implications of that today.
White privilege is real. It is so real.
Like in the criminal justice system or even demographics of communities. Advocates say CRT urges people to grapple with systemic racism, to work.
White privilege is not real. It does not exist. You can say whatever you want to say, but it doesn't. Again, there's nothing under the law that I can do that you can't do. Again, that lady, though, that was saying that, there's nothing under the law. Now, I might have certain skills that she doesn't have. So again, I might be able to do certain jobs. She might have certain skills that I don't have. But again, we have to realize that is not based upon race. We truly have to get that. And as far as, being able to say things, again, she can say far more than what I can say. I can tell you that much. Again, there can be some 20-year-old black kid, again, they call some 50-year-old white man or white boy, and nobody bats a damn eye. But again, if it would be the other way around, oh my God, people's heads would freaking explode. They would. They'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe some 20-year-old white kid calls some 50-year-old black man a black boy. Again, their heads would freaking explode. But the other way around, man, it's okay. It's okay. Because, white people have white privilege. No. Again, if you can say something based upon your race that somebody else can't say, then maybe you have privilege based upon your race. We have truly got to understand that. And right now, that is what it is. There's victim privilege. Victim privilege.
I'm coughing, I'm bleeding, band-aids won't heal it, 'cause they hate me, so I'm faking all of this, so they take it.
That you can say whatever you want to say if you're a victim. But again, if you're the so-called oppressor, then you can't say a damn thing. We have truly got to understand that. So we have truly got to recognize the fact that white privilege, man, it's not a thing. It's truly not a thing. And again, there's always going to be disparities, between groups of people. But again, is it based upon race? Is it have anything to do with the race? Or does it have something to do with, the way that people are raised, the way they grow up, what they're taught? Again, if division is a thing that's championed, if hate is what's taught, division is championed, then guess what? They're not going to do as well.
Oh, hey, kids. I'm Santa Claus. Just practicing for Christmas.
But you are white. Jack and Sarah told me Santa is Indian.
Don't be stupid. Santa is black.
Santa can't be black. We do not fear him.
Damn it, Candy.
Santa is Asian.
How can he be Asian? Santa doesn't drive his sled 20 miles under the speed limit with his blinker on. Go back to your rice paddy, Mulan. Hey, shut up!
But again, if they're taught to go after what they want, do what they can, again, build something, go after something, you're in charge of your own life, then guess what they're going to do better if they're taught that than if they're taught they can't do something because of their race.
Spends more money on education than any other country in the world, and yet we get the worst outcomes. We're at the bottom of every list. In total, American society pours more than $1 trillion a year into public education systems. But instead of being at the top of the list, we are literally right smack, guess what, at the bottom. Rather than indoctrinating young people with inappropriate racial, sexual, and political material, which is what we're doing now, our schools must be totally refocused to prepare our children to succeed in the world of work and in life and the world of keeping our country strong so they can grow up to be happy, prosperous, and independent citizens. We owe our children great schools that lead to great jobs and leads to an even greater country that we're living in right now. Right now, we're living in a failing nation because of Joe Biden and these people running it. They're Marxists, they're communists. What they're doing to our country is incredible, but we'll take care of that for our children. Here are 10 key ideas that will power our movement for great schools. First, we will respect the right of parents to control the education of their children. Second, we will empower parents and local school board to hire and reward great principals and teachers, and also to fire the poor ones, the one whose performance is unsatisfactory. They will be fired. Like on The Apprentice, you're fired. Third, we will ensure our classrooms are focused not on political indoctrination, but on teaching the knowledge and skills needed to succeed. Reading, writing, math, science, arithmetic, and other truly useful subjects. Fourth, we will teach students to love their country, not to hate their country like they're taught right now. Fifth, we will support bringing back prayer to our schools. Sixth, we will achieve schools that are safe, secure, and drug-free, with immediate expulsion for any student who harms a teacher or another student. Seventh, we will give all parents the right to choose another school for their children if they want. It's called school choice. Eighth, we will ensure students have access to project-based learning experiences inside the classroom to help train them for meaningful work outside the classroom. Ninth, we will strive to give all students access to internships and work experiences that can set them on a path to their first job. They're going to be very, very successful. I want them to be more successful than Trump. Let them go out and be more successful. I will be the happiest person in the world. But we want our children to have a great life and be successful. And 10th, we will ensure that all schools provide excellent jobs and career counseling so that high school and college students can get a head start on jobs and careers best suited to their God-given talents. This is how we will ensure a great education for every American child. And one other thing I'll be doing very early in the administration is closing up the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., and sending all education and education work and needs back to the states. We want them to run the education of our children because they'll do a much better job of it. You can't do worse. We spend more money per pupil by 3 times than any other nation, and yet we're absolutely at the bottom. We're one of the worst. So you can't do worse. We're going to end education coming out of Washington, D.C. We're going to close it up, all those buildings all over the place, and you have people that in many cases hate our children. We're going to send it all back to the states. Thank you very much.
This right here from Donald Trump shows you the difference, again, between what he's advocating and what the Democrats are advocating. Again, we truly get to recognize the difference. What he's saying versus what they're saying. And again, this whole CRT stuff, this whole trans agenda or whatever stuff, we have truly got to recognize, man, that is killing our kids. It's killing our country. It truly is, man. Again, you're dividing people, again, along racial lines. No, that's not going to work. That's going to pull this country apart. We have truly got to recognize that. Man, again, it doesn't matter if you're white or black or whatever, man. Nobody alive today, no kid in school was a slave. Again, they should not be front and center. That should not be what you focus attention on. Now, do you need to teach slavery that happened? What happened? Yeah, of course. But again, we truly have got to recognize that we don't need to, again, indoctrinate kids to believe that just because of the color of your skin, you have special privilege. We have truly got to recognize that. And again, man, right now, the only privilege that people have is based on their victimhood status. That is it. That is truly all there is. And we have got to recognize that. We have got to be honest about that. And again, that is what there is. And again, we need to educate kids on reading, writing, math. And again, we don't need to be concerned with all this bullshit. And that's really, truly what it is, bullshit. I mean, again, you don't need to teach, transgender ideology to kids that are, especially to any kids, but especially those in elementary school. They don't need to be taught this stuff. Again, they can't understand it. Again, grown people don't understand it. It's not real. It's not real. A boy can never be a girl, and a girl can never be a boy.
Mr. Garrison.
Mrs. Garrison.
Mrs. Garrison, you can't have an abortion.
Don't you tell me what I can and can't do with my body. A woman has a right to choose.
No, I mean you're physically unable to have an abortion because you can't get pregnant.
But I missed my period.
You can't have periods either. You had a sex change, Mr. Garrison, but you don't have ovaries or a womb. You don't produce eggs.
But I paid $5,000 to be a woman. This would mean I'm not really a woman. I'm just a guy with a mutilated penis.
I mean, they can feel whatever way they want to feel. Whatever way they're pushed into feeling, they can feel. And again, other than that, we do have to recognize, man, if a little boy is effeminate, he might be gay. Again, I'm not saying anything for or against that, but we truly have got to understand that's probably what he is. But again, is he a little girl trapped in a boy's body? Of course not.
Sex change was a big mistake, okay? Please. Doctor, I'm a man trapped in a woman's body. I need a penis. Boys, have you seen my penis? You saw a penis?
Again, we have truly got to recognize that's a bunch of made up fluff. It's not even real. You know, again, that stuff, the CRT stuff, it's not real. It's truly not real. With the CRT stuff, I hate to say this. Well, actually, I don't hate to say it. I'm going to say it. Again, about the slavery thing, that is not something anyone thinks about. Nobody thinks about that. Nobody gets up and says, well, that's a big part of my life. No, it's not. I don't care if you're white, black, or whatever. It's not a big part of your life. If you were born and raised in this country, because again, we have got to understand there is slavery in other parts of the world. Again, not necessarily black slaves. I mean, it might be black slaves by other black people in other countries. But again, we truly got to recognize, man, in this country, that is not something that anyone, again, is a part of their everyday life. It's not. And if, again, you say it is, whether you're white or black, well, if you say it does, you have been brainwashed.
Step 1, train the people only to consume. Step 2, infiltrate adults with the news. Step 3, indoctrinate the children through the schools and the music and the apps on the phones that they use. Step 4, separate the right from the left. Step 5, separate the white from the black. Step 6, separate the rich from the poor. Use religion and equality to separate them more. Step 7, fabricate a problem, made a lie. Step 8, put it on the news every night. Step 9, when people start to fight and divide, take control. This is called situational design.
You have been fully brainwashed because, again, that is not a part of everyday life for anyone nowadays. We have truly got to get honest about that stuff. And again, nobody cares. And there is full equality under the law, which is all you can ever have. And again, if you want to do something, you go for something. But again, if you're being told that you have less of a chance of getting somewhere because of the color of your skin, again, you're doing that child a disservice. That is what you're doing. Again, that's child abuse. That is child abuse. Whether you're telling some black kid they can't get ahead because they're black, or you're telling some white kid that you're an oppressor. Again, that kind of stuff is child abuse. And again, you should be taken out of the schools if you're teaching that kind of stuff. We have truly got to recognize that. And, again, we have got to also recognize, man, if you want to do something, we've got to teach our young folks. If you want to do something, then do it. Go after it. Go do what you want to do. If you have, like Trump said, the talent for something, do it. Use that talent. Go for something. But again, the best way to encourage our young folks is to, again, encourage them to do what they want to do, what they had the talents to do. But again, the wrong way to go about raising anyone, the wrong way to go about encouraging people is by dividing people, by making people feel bad, by telling them something that is not true. Again, that's going to limit what they believe they can do. That is wrong. That is hateful. That is from hate. And we have truly got to recognize that, guys. We do. But hey, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a